Ever wonder how a small oil company from the Midwest became the premium synthetic oil that mechanics either worship or completely ignore? AMSOIL didn't stumble into the premium market by luck. There's a deliberate engineering story behind it that most people don't know. And it explains why this oil costs, what it costs, why it performs the way it does, and whether you actually need it in your vehicle. I've been working on engines for over 20 years, and I've seen the results firsthand. Let me show you exactly what happened. AMSOIL was founded in 1972 by a guy named Al Amatuzio. He wasn't just some businessman looking to make a quick buck in the oil industry. Amatuzio was a jet fighter squadron commander and a mechanical engineer. He understood lubrication at a molecular level because he worked with synthetic oils in aviation, where engine failure isn't just expensive, it's deadly. Here's the key moment. In the early 1970s, almost every car on the road was running conventional mineral oil. Synthetic oil existed, but it was only used in jets, military equipment, and extreme industrial applications. It was expensive, hard to produce, and nobody thought passenger cars needed it. Amatuzio saw something different. He looked at turbocharged engines, high-performance vehicles, and extreme temperature conditions, and he realized that conventional oil had limitations. It broke down under heat, it thickened in cold weather, it oxidized quickly under stress, and as engines got more advanced, tighter tolerances, turbochargers, higher compression ratios, those limitations were going to become problems. So he created the first synthetic motor oil in the world specifically formulated for automotive use, not for jets, not for industrial machinery, for cars and trucks. And in 1972, AMSOIL became the first synthetic motor oil to meet American Petroleum Institute service requirement. That's not marketing hype, that's documented history. AMSOIL was literally the first. Now here's where it gets interesting. At the time, the major oil companies, Mobil, Castrol, Pennzoil, were still focused on conventional oil because that's what sold. Synthetic oil cost more to produce, and they didn't think consumers would pay the premium. AMSOIL took the opposite bet. They said, if we can prove synthetic oil lasts longer, protects better, and handles extremes that conventional oil can't, people will pay for it. And they were right, but it took decades to prove. In the late 70s and early 80s, AMSOIL started pushing extended drain intervals. While everyone else was recommending 3,000-mile oil changes, AMSOIL said, our oil can go 25,000 miles or 1 year. That was a radical claim. Mechanics called it dangerous. Oil companies called it irresponsible. But AMSOIL backed it up with testing. They ran engines to failure on extended intervals. They published used oil analysis reports showing that the oil still had life left at 15,000, 20,000, even 25,000 miles. They proved that synthetic base stocks and high-quality additives could handle what conventional oils couldn't. But here's the catch, and this is important. Extended intervals only work if the oil is actually capable and if the driving conditions support it. AMSOIL was engineered for that. But they were also marketing to a world that wasn't ready to trust it yet. So they built their reputation slowly, one engine at a time, mostly through word of mouth and independent distributors. Fast forward to the 1990s and 2000s. Other oil companies finally started offering synthetic options. Mobil 1 launched in 1974, just 2 years after AMSOIL, but they marketed it differently, focused on performance and racing, not extended drains. Castrol, Valvoline, Pennzoil, they all followed. Synthetic oil went mainstream. But here's what separated AMSOIL. While the major brands were creating synthetic blends and cheaper formulations to hit lower price points, AMSOIL stayed focused on full synthetic, premium formulations designed for maximum performance and extended service. They didn't chase the mass market. They stayed in the premium lane. That decision shaped everything. The base stocks AMSOIL uses, Group IV POWs and Group V esters, are more expensive than the Group 3 base stocks that many other synthetic oils use. The additive packages are designed for longevity, not just initial performance. The viscosity modifiers are built to resist shear over time. Every part of the formulation is geared toward one goal, making an oil that lasts longer and protects better than anything else on the market. And that's expensive to produce, which is why AMSOIL costs what it costs. Now, let's talk about what this means in the real world. I've analyzed used oil reports from engines running AMSOIL at 10,000, 12,000, even 15,000 mile intervals. The total base number, which measures the oil's ability to neutralize acids, holds up. The viscosity stays stable, the wear metals stay within acceptable limits. The oil is doing its job. I've also torn down engines that ran AMSOIL for over 200,000 miles. Clean valve trains, minimal carbon deposits, bearings that still had life left. The results match the claims. But, and this is critical, I've also seen engines run just as long on Mobil 1, Pennzoil Platinum, and even quality conventional oils when the oil was changed on time. Because here's the reality. AMSOIL's advantage shows up most clearly in extended drain intervals, severe duty use, and extreme conditions. If you're changing oil every 5,000 miles in normal driving, the performance gap narrows significantly. So why did AMSOIL become premium? Because they engineered it that way from day one. They didn't compromise on formulation to hit a lower price point. They didn't create synthetic blends to compete with cheaper oils. They built a product for people who wanted maximum protection and were willing to pay for it. That's a business decision, and it's a smart one. But it also means AMSOIL isn't for everyone. If you're running a turbocharged engine, towing heavy loads, driving in extreme heat or cold, or extending your oil changes to 10,000 miles or more, AMSOIL makes sense. You're using the performance you're paying for. But if you're changing oil every 5,000 miles in a daily driver under normal conditions, you might not see enough real-world benefit to justify the cost. A quality, full synthetic from Mobil 1, Castrol, or Pennzoil will serve you just fine. Here's the bottom line. AMSOIL didn't become premium by accident. It became premium because a jet fighter pilot and engineer looked at conventional oil in 1972 and said, "We can do better." And then they spent 50 years proving it. The question isn't whether AMSOIL is good oil. It is. The question is whether your engine, your driving conditions, and your maintenance habits actually require what AMSOIL offers. For some of you, the answer is yes. For others, it's overkill. And that's okay. Oil isn't about loyalty or brand wars. It's about matching the right product to the right application. So here's my challenge. Look at how you actually use your vehicle. Check your oil change intervals. Consider your driving conditions. Then decide if AMSOIL's premium formulation is worth the premium price for your situation. What are you currently running in your engine? Drop a comment with your vehicle and how you use it. I'll tell you whether AMSOIL makes sense for your setup or if you're better off with something else. And if this breakdown gave you a new perspective on why AMSOIL costs what it costs, hit that like button. Next week, I'm breaking down AMSOIL versus Mobil 1, the test that ended the argument. We're looking at actual lab data, wear protection, and which oil wins in real-world conditions. You're going to want to see that. If you're not subscribed, hit that button now, drop a comment. I read every single one. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.